Welcome back to our next episode of Raj Against the Machine. Today we have a special guest. We got Peter Angelo.
Hello.
Yeah, super chill comic from New York.
Yeah, trying to be.
Originally from Connecticut.
Originally from Connecticut, which sucks to tell people.
Yeah. However, you look like you're from Kentucky.
Yeah, I know. It makes no sense, but I tell people there are rednecks everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I know everyone thinks like, oh, Connecticut, rich fucks, but like, who do you think drives the trucks to like get their shit to them? Assholes like me.
Well, I don't know you quite yet, but
I am an asshole, but I was a truck driver for years.
were you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was trying to go against the stereotype.
Nope,
but,
no. I mean, look, I go against enough stereotypes. I gotta have I'm a weird.
Yeah, that's true.
Some-
You are.
yeah.
You'd never think looking at you that you're gay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. When did you come out of the closet?
Like mid-20s. Funny thing is, I didn't come out until like a few years. Like, I was already doing comedy for a while,
Oh,
and then came out and just like immediately everything started going better.
that's awesome.
Because they're like, wait, what? This makes no sense.
Raj, do you have any announcements to make right now?
That I'm very attracted to him. No, but that's great. So comedy actually helped you break free.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, it also because basically, like a friend of mine who knew, he was like, you gotta talk about it. It set you apart from everyone.
Heck yeah.
He's like, it set you apart from like every straight comic who looks like you. But then he says, there's like, it set you apart from like every gay comic as well. Because like now that I do so many shows that are like queer based shows, and that everyone's like, like, yeah, y'all like theater and show tunes. Like, I get it. Like, it's fine. But does anyone like anything else? Like, yeah, me. And I'm just a piece of shit. I just like luckily, it's been fairly accepted because I do buck against it a little bit.
Right.
But I was kind of worried that people would be like, think like an internalized homophobia. Like, I'm really against it. Like, I'm not. Like, I'll talk about it. I just don't change from like crowd to crowd. Like, yes, I'll alter it a little bit depending, but for the most part, I'm still gonna kind of still be me.
Yeah.
Like we all obviously read the room, read the crowds, and change it a little bit. But I don't. But my core of my material and what I'm doing is still there.
That's still you, yeah. But it's funny you bring that up because if I saw you on a flyer for like an LGBTQ show, I'd be like, what the fuck is this guy doing on this?
Yeah, it's a while. Like I do Pride shows, and I'm like, oh, it's Proud Boy shows now.
Yeah. That's awesome, though. Because I think the only two gay people that I've seen who look like you are one of the guys in the show Ozark. You ever see that show?
I never watched Ozark.
Okay.
I didn't know there was a me on there.
There was a you on Ozark. He was a closeted you, and he was very
they're always closeted.
yeah, but he was very upset when he came out, and then the guy that he made out with, he got so mad he like kicked his ass. But and then who's that Tiger King, right?
Oh yeah. He's gay as fuck.
Yeah, he's so gay.
He's so gay. He paid meth addicts to like be his husband and shit.
They worked.
It did work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Are you a fan of Mark Norman? Do you listen to his stuff?
I've funny story. There was a show at the Cutting Room, maybe like a year and a half ago, and I knew the guy producing it. He was like, "You want to do a guest spot?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And it was literally like Joe List, Renan Hirschberg, Jeff Arcuro, and Norman was on it. I was like, "Oh, no, guest spot." Then like someone couldn't make it, and they were like, "Oh, you're gonna do a 15-minute spot."
Nice.
They're like, "Oh, cool." It's like they're like, "You'll go up like third or fourth." All right, fine. But then everyone, all the bigger name guys had to do another spot. So they all had to keep going up before me. And I kept getting bumped farther and farther down. And then finally, they're like, all right, you're going to go right before Norman. Unless he has to leave. He's almost here. He shows up. They're like, he has to leave. You're going on after him. Yeah. And I'm like, fuck. And like literally, like it's a sold out place, like 250 people.
Yeah.
People are wearing Mark Norman t-shirts. Like they're there to see him.
For sure.
He finishes. They're standing and clapping because they're like, oh, this show is definitely over. Because like, who could be after him? Me.
This guy.
Me. And they were like, well, who the fuck is that guy? And like, it went fine enough. I knew like they were already like, they gave everything they had like to these guys already. And I was like, that was like one of the most nervous. And my buddy, after the show, my friend who like was producing something, he goes, well, that'll be one of the hardest things you have to do in a while.
Yeah. It's, I actually have a similar story. I'll get to that. But the reason I brought him up was because he has a bit where he talks about like, you never see a gay redneck, you know, you never see someone who's like, I love guns, my truck, and dick.
Yeah, that's just yeah. Doesn't someone told me Sean Patton has one similar?
Oh, do they?
As well, yeah. That it's like someone, it's because someone tagged him in like one of my reels too, and I met him like really quick. Was it Patton? I can't remember who it was, but like I remember I did a bit. I was down in Austin when I said I'm gay, and that's a surprise to me, and like didn't get like that big of a reaction. And I was talking to him afterwards. He was like, that should have got way more because that made me laugh.
Yeah. No, Patton's a good egg. He's very supportive.
And but yeah, like so like I've definitely been like trying to like lean into it because like even like, being on Kill Tony, like they just started calling me like Larry the Cable Gay, and
that's hilarious.
I got called Uncle Gazer.
Uncle Gazer,
Yeah.
Larry the Cable Gay. I was thinking Duck Dine with me.
Say that one again.
Duck Dine with me?
Duck Dine with me? That sounds like
too much.
nice romantic.
Yeah.
It's got to be like, I don't know. We'll have to work on that one.
Wait,
the
so
best
Larry
is the
the Cable-
comment sections, though. I was reading the comment sections, and I was like putting it in my act because people called me KY Jelly Roll and Jelly Hole.
Ooh, jelly hole. That's got a ring to it.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's a rancid ass hole. But yeah, so going back to the story where you had to follow like these big names.
Yeah.
I was doing an audition for this TV show called Access Live. It's old. I don't even think they do it anymore.
Yeah,
They
I've
filmed
heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, they filmed it at Gotham.
Oh, really?
And the night I was doing my audition to get on it, the host comes up to me, Emma Willman, you know her?
Oh, yeah, I know.
She comes up to me and she's like, hey, just so you know, there's another comic dropping in right before you, and then you can go.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, cool. And then it's fucking Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, of course.
And the whole crowd goes insane.
Yeah.
And all he does is take his cap off and just sighs into the microphone, and he's getting an applause break. Like, I can't compete with this.
Yeah.
So needless to say, I went up after this guy. So while everybody in the audience was like, oh my God, Jerry Seinfeld, me in the back, I'm just like, oh, fuck, God damn it.
Do you ever like think about that too? I always think about that when like a comic's like a big enough name where like they're gonna laugh at almost no matter what is said. That I want to get like a completely unknown like open micer and like one of the biggest names to like write each other's sets and see what happens.
Yeah, they'll probably destroy.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because it's that celebrity hive, right? Because I think Louis would do that back in the day, right? He would immediately turn the audience off, just to see if he could get genuine reactions from them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was so annoyed that he popped up, and needless to say, I didn't get the spot. And I thought
it's like at first you're like cool, then you're like fuck.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I was like,
did you do it? I've known people who like use that as a credit.
No,
you know, I'd be like, I opened for Seinfeld, or Seinfeld opened for me.
People were saying that. I was like, oh, now you can say you opened for Seinfeld. I was like, no, you can say you're a hack.
Yeah, then you say you're a piece of shit. Fucking. There are comics that will fucking do that shit.
Oh my God, have you seen the comics that use the Grizzly Pear as a credit? Like it's on the flyer. It's like this comic from the Grizzly Pear. I'm like, that's not even that's a bar. That's. Yeah.
Yeah, it was on Crashing, like
as a background. If you squint hard enough and you unblur, you see me. But
this comic is from Netflix. It's just because they've watched Netflix.
This comic has a Netflix subscription.
Yeah. It just goes to show how desperate we are for.
What's the ever get? Because I get it all the time. People are like, "What's your credit?" I'm like, I don't know, man. Especially if it's like, because like Stand Up New York was like the first club that I got past that. So when I'd be there and the host would be like, "What's your credit?" I'm like, "Here, this place,
yes,
all I got."
Yeah. Speaking of Stand Up New York, I've been past there for 6 years. I've never done a spot there.
Oh my God. Well, you're not getting any more. All I get now is text messages for their shows about like buying tickets.
Yeah.
Although I got a text message from one and it was like 10 free tickets. And I was like, oh my God, 10?
There,
I could have 10. Jeez.
Yeah, I went to the Gutter I think, for my birthday 2 years ago.
The gutter.
And I forced all my friends to come, and they text me like every 3 weeks, and they go,
Oh,
when am I going to stop getting emails about this show? It's just always constant free tickets they're giving out over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like laughing Buddha spam.
Yeah.
That's now it irks me when I see those bring 5 people to perform a Janine Garofalo. I'm like, come on. This is
It's like I met Janine Garofalo in a basement in Brooklyn.
yeah, she's chilling all.
Yeah.
It's 2025.
I've done like 7 shows with her.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, so tell me what's going on in your life? You got anything crazy going on in your life right now? Currently, you got a partner in China. You were just there. How's that
Well,
going?
we live here together.
Okay.
But we went to China because that's our second trip to China.
Yeah. How'd you guys meet?
Yeah, Grinder.
Ooh.
Yeah. When I was back in Connecticut.
And he's Asian. On Grinder.
There's a lot of them.
And you swiped right on him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I like slim, smooth, slender guys.
Small dick.
No.
Oh, wow.
No, that is such a. I've been in Chinese bathhouses. I am convinced there is one like group of Asian guys who have ruined it for the rest of them.
You know what? I'm starting to feel the same way.
And someone said it's Koreans.
You know what? You know who else would agree with you? Every other Asian.
Because I've been in several Chinese bathhouses. I'm like, these guys are fine.
Yeah,
like,
average size, bigger.
Yeah, they're doing fine. Like,
yeah.
And look, and also, take a dick in your ass. It doesn't need to be that fucking big.
That's true. Exactly. It depends on where you're taking the dick. That's where the size really matters.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
So,
but that's cool. So you met him on Grindr here in New York?
Yeah. He lived in New York. I lived in Connecticut. He was kind of like, he was on the train coming back from like upstate New York. And I came down at a show. He met up with me and we spent the night together. And then just like, been 4 years of just us spending, constant time together. I moved to the city. I didn't really have any plans to move to New York for comedy originally, but then I got past stint in New York, and enough people were like saying like, "Oh, you should come down to the city. You should give it a shot." And I was like, "All right, cool." And it was sort of like that, and meeting him. I was like, why not? I've always wanted to, and I'm glad I did because I don't look like it, but I love living in New York.
Yeah,
I think it's sick.
No, it's awesome. It's a juxtaposition.
Yeah.
You look like this. You live in New York in Fidei, right?
Right now, that's just like temporary. I was in Queens for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, when I first moved down here, hopefully once we get back from Austin, try to find a place in Brooklyn, but like sort of like off the beaten path, so it's not as crazy expensive. Somewhere
Right.
like right. We don't plan on being like right in Williamsburg or Greenpoint, which hey would be cool, but
of course,
somewhere a little off the beaten path.
Yeah,
not too bad. I have a part-time job in Greenpoint or
Okay.
Williamsburg Greenpoint line at an axe throwing bar.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
See that? I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like the fucking poster boy.
An axe throwing gay bar?
No, just an axe throwing bar.
Darn it, that's a good idea.
Depends on who's there,
Yeah.
I guess.
Sorry, were you about to chime in, Eric?
I was just going to ask where was it next to where the movie theater used to be, the outdoor movie theater?
No, well, fairly close. It's actually really close to the gutter.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's New York Axe. It was a different place. It got bought out.
Okay.
And we had to stop drinking so much while there.
Well, see, that's a problem when I moved here full time, because I used to live out in the sticks of Pennsylvania, and when I moved here full time, just bars galore, dude. Like I turned into an alcoholic real fast.
So alcohol wasn't the problem. I started going to raves and partying.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
We just this weekend I went to DC for the Music and Gaming Festival. It's called MagFest. They need to change the name. But it's like just a nerd convention, but it's just like nonstop partying.
That's awesome.
And like I did, actually we drank a ton, did Molly, and then I decided to do 2 giant lines of ketamine in a row.
Jesus.
And my pupils were the size of my iris.
Oh my God.
They were my entire eyeball. Apparently, funniest photo I've ever seen in my life.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Luckily, my friends were like, "We can't believe you stood up and like walked and then came back out like an hour or 2 later." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know why. For some reason, maybe not having done any drugs through my entirety of my 20s has made it so like in my 30s, for some reason, I handled drugs fairly well." Because like most people do Molly, the next day they're miserable. They're like, they're like, because it just depletes all your serotonin.
You're like a drug virgin.
Yeah, but for some reason, for me, like literally the next day, a day after, I'm like, woohoo, let's go.
Yeah, because
I'm fine.
It's still fresh for you,
I guess.
Yeah.
But I know people who like, I don't know. Someone said that like maybe your brain just doesn't create serotonin, so you don't know what you're missing. I'm like fine. Like it's I shouldn't be okay right now.
Yeah. Oh, really? Even right now?
Yeah, I should be miserable. I should have a gun in my mouth right now. And I went to the gym earlier today. I'm fine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good thing. I mean,
it's weird. It makes some people pissed at me. They're like, "You're fine? What the fuck?"
Yeah. No, I get that way. I mean, I don't do hard drugs. I think I did shrooms once. But that's the hardest I've ever done.
Yeah.
But with alcohol, like I don't get those. Everybody's like, "Oh, when you turn 40, you're gonna get those 2-day hangovers or 3-day hangovers." I'm fine the next day.
I would say I definitely started getting a little more hungover when I was like probably 27, because I used to not get them at all, but I would drink like a lunatic, like 30 beers in a night.
Jesus.
And so like at 27, I started getting them a little bit more, but then I realized I'm like, oh, if I just drink water, I'll be fine. Like I'm like, it's amazing how much that helps.
In between beers?
In between beers, or just like before I start drinking heavily. So I'm not even sure I get hangovers from the alcohol, or more so it's just dehydration because I don't drink enough water.
Yeah.
In general, is I get headaches because I'm dehydrated all the time.
Right.
Because I drink energy drinks like a lunatic.
Which is probably good because the electrolytes help.
Yeah, I drink like 3 C4s to start my day.
Oh, energy drinks. I thought you meant like Gatorade.
No, not even those.
those.
My friends yell at me all the time. They're like, "Stop drinking that and drink a water."
Yeah.
Yeah, my mother is she's scared for my life, but I only have like one every 3 days. But
I drink.
3
I can drink 3 of them in a row.
Oh my god.
Because also again, when I was a truck driver, I'd get to work, go to the gas station in my truck, get out, buy 3 of them, chug the first one, then drink the second one more slowly on my way to the delivery, and then drink the third one on the way back.
Jeez, your kidneys are probably like mush.
I shouldn't be alive, I think. Like I also shouldn't be like, I'm not in like shape, but I'm at least like athletic, and that shouldn't be.
Yeah.
I did Strongman for a while as well.
Okay.
So COVID, everything shut down. The gym near my house was still open, and I was always athletic. And my friend was like, "Pete, you're athletic, but you're fat. You're kind of strong. You should do Strongman." I was like, "All right, that sounds fun." I did that for a few years.
Heck yeah.
And like, what my buddy who trained me was like, because I would do comedy. I would, truck driver. I get no sleep. I would not eat well, and I'd still like get stronger and stronger very quickly. And my friend was like, "What are you, an alien?" He's like, "If you actually took care of yourself, you'd be incredible. But you don't. You sleep 2 hours. You work a hard job all day.
Yeah.
And you eat like garbage." He's like, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah. Either your metabolism is doing things that are beyond belief, or
like I should be way fatter.
Yeah, or something is cooking here.
Yeah, because most people also don't think I weigh as much as I do.
Well, so do you mind me asking?
Go for it.
What do you?
About 320.
320.
Yeah.
Damn. And is that mostly muscle?
I mean, I guess I don't know. I'm fairly strong. I squat 500. I deadlift 550 at my best, and I bench 330.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Shit. That's
and that's without steroids or taking care of myself. That's next. Steroids are next. I'm doing that next. I do have a lot of injuries.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, you got muscle behind it. That shit comes in handy, especially living here in New York City, where things are so fucking crazy. Like somebody tries to push you over a fucking subway.
Yeah. I definitely been like standing in the opposite direction. I'm like, try it, fucking try it.
Somebody tries to light you on fire.
That's it too. Is my partner is like, he's like 150 pounds. So he's like, by himself, he's like, he gets kind of nervous with people. Like,
yeah,
he's like, with me, he obviously feels a lot better when I'm around.
Yeah, no, that's so cool. Yeah. Do you get into altercations or not
really?
Kind of like,
people don't even heckle me that much.
Real, because they're scared. They're
I think
kick
so.
Their ass. Yeah.
Like I've done shows where like there have been people who have heckled like every comic, and I go up and they say nothing.
Yeah. How does that make you feel? Like,
I don't know, but at the same time, I'm like, I ask questions. I'll try. I try to get the crowd to like talk to me, and they just won't. I'm like, what are you guys fucking terrified of me?
Yeah.
Why won't you answer me?
Well, I wonder if they're terrified if you're gonna kick their ass.
I just should start yelling at them.
I wonder if they're scared if you're gonna kick their ass or if you're gonna fuck them. But,
Either way, I mean, some of it. I mean, hopefully they're excited about that second part. Maybe.
Yeah. Top or bottom?
Verse.
Oh,
Hey.
Wow, it's probably a lot of power coming out of you.
Yeah, I can hurt people.
Yeah.
Especially because I like guys so much smaller than me.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm straight. I'm in a relationship with my girlfriend, but sometimes whenever I'm on top, she's like harder. I was like, I got nothing left.
I got none more.
This is everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm assuming that's never an issue with you.
Not really.
Yeah. You ever break a hip? Someone else's?
No, thank God. I try to be aware. I do have a joke, but I'm worried about like if the guy asks me to choke him, I'll kill him.
Oh, gee, yeah, seriously. Like this guy's dead.
No, I'm just like I'm just Lenny from Of Mice and Men. Just like,
oh my God, a gay porn of mice and men.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. I'd watch it.
We have the cameras.
all right, when I need to shoot it, I'll let you know.
But that's so cool, dude. So yeah, your partner, you met him in China, and you were just in China recently. You were doing some shows out there.
Yeah,
what
just
was that like?
So it's funny that I went over there like about a year ago, and then made some contacts. And there's a New York comic named Ben Frank, who was out there for a bit. I got some contacts through him.
So do you know the other Chinese New York comics, like the ones that spent time in China, like Turner Sparks and?
No, I don't. Ben's the only one I really know. I feel like I've come across a couple others, but then through like WeChat, like I would message just like one producer or one comic, and then he'd be like, "Oh, what other cities you're going to?" And then just like send me the names of other ones, and they'd all be like, "Yeah, come do 40 minutes, and we'll pay you," and stuff like that.
Right.
So like I got to do like these shows in Chengdu, Beijing, Xi'an, and they were fun. They were full, but like, yeah, I would say, and they're always like kind of like majority expats, who are now living in China, and then some locals who speak English. They're always English shows, but again, like you really, it really tests you. It really pushes you out of that comfort zone, because the things that you rely on here just won't work there. They just don't have the same cultural ideas and references of what it is, and a lot of other things going on. So it was tough, but it was very fun, and it pushed me. And it also, because like all my material about my traveling there worked like really well, so it made me want to write more about my travels. So like right now my goal is to get like a brand new half hour based on my travels. Like I probably have like 15 minutes right now of and then like the core of ideas that I want to just keep rolling out and working on. So like add this whole like travel. So that's another thing I want. So I have, a lot of material about the surprise of my sexuality, and what's that? Now I want to add like a whole nother thing about the surprise of someone like me traveling abroad, because I am not. So you don't look at me and goes like, I bet that guy's traveled to China.
You don't look like a white girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, that's so cool though. Well, speaking of which though, is China cool with the gays?
So it's one of those things where it's okay. It's not illegal, but they're not like super cool with it. It's a lot of it is because they're very steeped in like the traditional family aspect. So it's like, oh, you're the firstborn son. Well, we want a grandchild. We want you to continue the name, and like that kind of thing. Right. So that is like a big part of it. There are some, gay bars here and there, and raves, and there's still like that subculture, but it's definitely more underground, which is cool. We went to some raves in some cities, and it's pretty sick. It's pretty sick to go to a place where like when something's underground, it's like legit underground.
For sure.
Same thing with like the music scene, punk and metal there, like going to metal bars and punk bars, like, oh wow, this is like what it'd be like more in like the 70s here, when things were legit like DIY and, underground. And if you like it, you have to really like it to be involved. Like one of the spots that we go to a rave is like in the top of a business. It's like a huge it's like a huge complex that has all these businesses in it. And it's like the top left corner building that got like turned into like a bar and a nightclub, which is like
Nice.
sick.
Yeah, that's super sick.
Yeah.
But so but like, are you? They're not like mean or anti-gay out there, are they? So like, if you and your partner were like holding hands and walking down the street, you'd be fine.
We get a lot of stares.
Oh, you get a lot of stares.
But again, I get stared at regardless. But I don't know because I don't know what people were saying half the time.
Yeah.
So we definitely, and there are just some cities that it's more okay than others, you know, and so again, it's like, it is still like frowned upon by most people. It's you definitely got to be careful.
Okay.
Because you just never know how people are gonna react. You get a lot of looks. Would anyone attack you? I don't know. Okay. I don't know. Again, luckily, I am a 300+ pound,
so no one's
giant fuck. Yeah. So people pick their battles a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Because like I always joke, like, look, I'm not like, there are plenty of people like, I'm not even saying someone who was like homophobic wouldn't beat me up, but I'm gonna fight back.
Oh, for
and
sure.
They're gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
They might win, but they're gonna have to explain why the fuck their face looks like that.
Yeah. And so, I can totally picture that. Some guy goes back home and be like, oh my God, what happened? Be like, some gay guy beat the shit out of me.
Say that, like, oh, I tried to commit a hate crime and he fought back.
Yeah. No, it's fucking great, dude. Yeah.
I get that black, like, yeah, how'd you get that black eye? Like, oh, fucking, I wanted to beat up a fag and he punched me.
I guess I'm the fag.
Yeah, I always joke about that too. I actually, during Pride Month, I made a joke and I said, I thought it was like a tweet, and I was like, for Pride Month, if I can beat you up, you're gay now.
Yeah, no, it's funny because you mentioned the staring. I've caught myself doing that, but not for the reason you would think.
Staring at gay people?
A gay couple where the dude was like super big. He was like 400 pounds. He was like a football player for like an NFL team. And then his partner was like the size of Eric, or maybe even smaller. And so then I'm just staring, trying to figure out the math here.
Yeah.
Not because I was like, oh, they're gay, but I was just like, who's doing what and where?
Or there's like, if you see like a photo, like, so I went and watched World's Strongest Man a couple years ago. And like, I was like, looking at those guys, like, and their wives, and I was like, what the fuck? She's like 4'11".
Yeah, she's like sticks.
You're 6'5", 400 pounds.
Yeah.
To me, it's the opposite. Because I stare at gay guys, and I'm like, how? But it's usually when it's like two fat guys.
Oh, right.
Because like the thing too is like I attract so many bears and like fat guys and big guys, and sorry, I don't like them. They're fun, they're good people, but like I like smaller dudes. But like, so we would go to like bear events and things like that. And these events are just meant to like them to bang each other endlessly. Straight up banging. The wildest shit ever. Like you walk into a nightclub and there's just sex happening everywhere. And I'm like,
and where's this?
And I'm like, where's this? Everywhere. No, like P-Town, New Orleans, we've been the one with the Puerto Vallarta in Mexico. Actually, there's one happening this week that we went to last year or 2 years ago called Beef Dip.
It's in New York?
No, this one's in Mexico. There's I'm sure that, I mean, go to the Eagle.
Okay.
Or the Cock in New York, and you can see people fucking in just the rooms.
Is this strictly a gay spot?
Yes. Those two, yeah. I'm sure there might be straight ones somewhere.
But if I walked in with Eric, would they question me?
No one questioned me, but I don't know. Maybe not. I mean, no, probably not. They honestly, I don't think they question anyone. If you walked in there, you know what you're in for. You're not going to a place called the Cock. Not well aware. The whole basement is just like people having sex, and like it's a real awakening moment when I thought I was like an open-minded person, and like I'll like no. I'm a prude.
That's too much for
you? I'm a prude. I'm literally in the basement, and I'm just like, I ended up in a corner, and I'm between two pairs of people having sex.
Oh my God.
And I'm just,
were you
but I'm
between
also,
asses?
but I'm all, what?
Were you between asses?
I think they were like, the fuckers were like here, and the dudes were bent over in front of them. And like, the thing is, I already kind of have an aggressive demeanor. Like people say I look angry a lot. And so my boyfriend was like across the room from me, and he said I looked extra insane because I was trying to look like I was okay with everything.
What does that look
So
like?
I was like,
if I saw that while I was getting fucked,
I was just like, yeah, this is great. I don't want to leave at all. But then the thing is, whenever we go to like the bear event once, the dudes are ginormous. Like it looks like it looks like a football huddle, and there's like one guy like just blowing all of them.
That's crazy.
And oh my God, I get hit on so much at these things. The dude walks by, just grabs like a handful of my chest, grab his wrist, like push him away. He then took that as a sign to then go at it with his mouth, trying to like just get a hold of my nipple with his mouth. And I was like, no. And he had like a riding crop that you hit horses with.
Oh, no.
And he was like, do you want to punish me? I'm like, please get the fuck away from me.
You're going to get punished with my fist.
I'm like, oh, I can't. I can't do this.
Yeah. It's weird. And I don't know if this is with gay people in general, but I feel like dudes get a little bit more aggressive with dudes whenever they're into them.
Oh, for sure. And I don't look. I also don't really blame them because like that's like I am the outlier here. Like everyone else here is doing that. Yeah. I get it. I walked in, so I can't be that mad. I don't know why after like me being like, no, thank you.
Yeah,
they just keep pushing. Yeah. Like I'm not into you.
Now you know what it's like to be a lady.
There are like those things is like mostly bears, but there's also like chasers who are like the smaller guys who show up to just like have sex with huge dudes.
Right.
And like I'm always trying to like find them. There's like 8 of them.
Yeah.
And they're all spread to the wind.
Yeah. Like literally spread?
Yeah, 100%. They're just like being sandwiched between dudes.
Delicious. Yeah.
Like that's the thing too, is everyone looks at me and they're like, you're gonna fuck a guy that looks just like you? I'm like, no.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to do that. Yeah. That's gross. I don't look at me and go, yeah, piece of ass. Like, I want more of this. No.
Yeah. You're
that's what it is. Because they think my boyfriend looks like a fucking model.
Oh, no.
Like, especially like so people all the time.
Yeah.
Like we were at the convention. He's like he wakes up, he gets done, he like walks out. Everyone's like, how do you look this good? And they look at me and they're like, what? How is this possible? Yeah. People are amazed when we're together.
Yeah, well, I mean, you opposites attract, right?
Like, yeah, in this case, big time.
But yeah, but the aggressive gay dude, like I was at a bar once in Brooklyn. It wasn't even a gay bar; it was just a regular bar. And there was this dude who approached me, and I told him, I was like, hey, I'm very flattered, but straight, thank you very much. And then instead of like being like, oh, okay, cool, he grabs me. He puts me in like a headlock with his arm, and then he starts pushing me close to him, to his lips. And then I'm like, dude, get the fuck off of me. And he was like, come on, you know you want this. I was like, I literally said, no, I do not want this at all.
I wouldn't want that. Like, that's like...
Yeah, I was like, even if I was gay, I don't know who the fuck you are.
This is still wrong. Yeah. Then the problem too is like then like that guy will claim like homophobia. Be like, no, you're a predator.
Yeah, you're just a fucking you're sexually assaulting.
Shit.
Yeah.
Stop it. Like this isn't a game. Like I didn't say this to be. I didn't say no to be cute.
Yeah, yeah. Trust me.
I wasn't playing hard to get.
If I was being coy, you'd know.
Yeah.
But
dudes don't play hard to get.
But it's true, like that, and as a liberal I am, that's the first thought that started going through my head. I was like, I don't want to offend him, but I was like, this guy's fucking trying to rape me. Like,
you don't want to offend him so much that you have to fuck him.
Yeah, I almost did. Yeah. I was like,
look, I gotta be an ally here.
But then there's been instances where I walk into a gay bar and I had no idea it was a gay bar. Which do you hang out at the bars in the West Village?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. So
most of the bars I hang out with are based for comedy. So like,
the Duplex. That's a super gay bar. That's
I never been to that one.
They do a pretty
like
fun.
Rock Bar, Stonewall. Oh, I've done shows at.
Well, Stonewall is where I went.
Oh, okay.
And I had no idea. And apparently, this is like a super famous gay bar.
That's like the most famous gay bar. That's literally how Pride Month was created. Like,
he's like
the riot. That's like the gay bar.
He's like, I've heard the burgers are really good here.
So I go to this bar. I go to this bar with my girlfriend. I had no idea this is a gay bar, and I walk in. The bouncer is wearing like some glitzy shit. He's got like a belly cut shirt, and he's like,
I always do find it funny when the bouncers are real gay.
Yeah, this guy was super gay, and didn't even occur to me. I was like, oh, cool, that's a chill bouncer. Maybe there's something going on today. So then,
You saw that. You're like, what a casual bouncer.
so then I go in, I start ordering a drink for my girlfriend, and the bartender looks annoyed that I ordered a drink for my girlfriend. And then I'm like, huh, that was weird. And then suddenly this guy that was sitting next to my girlfriend at the bar comes up to me. He's like, hey, why don't you take a seat here? Just so you know, me and all my friends think you're fucking hot. And I was like, oh, cool. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. My girlfriend's like, what just happened? I was like, oh, I think these guys are trying to just be my friend here. And and then all of a sudden I look up and I see the sign for gay beer. Apparently there's a beer called gay beer. And then I turn around and I see like 4 dudes like hanging out at a table, 2 dudes kissing, another guy and another guy on a date. And then I'm like, babe, I think we're in a gay bar. And she's like, yeah, you picked this place. You brought me here.
She thought you were coming out like to her. And they took her there.
Yeah. She's like, I was wondering why you picked this place in the first place.
Didn't I just picture you and that Homer Simpson when he's in the lesbian bar? He's like, wait a second.
That was exactly.
There's no fire exit here.
Yeah, I was but it's so, I was like, I looked so far past it. I was like, oh, these guys are just super friendly. They're just very nice guys.
What a like such like a fucking like Southern bumpkin thing to do. Like you moved to everyone's so friendly. Oh my God. Everyone's buying me drinks.
Yeah.
The only thing is actually with the bouncer too, I don't know what's funnier, when the bouncer's gay or when the bouncer is so not gay and just looks miserable.
Oh, right.
And he's just like, oh, how the fuck did I end up here?
Yeah, what have I done to lead me to this? But yeah. Any interesting experiences you've had since you've come to New York besides going to the Cock or the Bear or whatever the place is?
Oh, the Eagle.
The Eagle, yeah.
Oh God. Honestly, so I started going to raves a bit more, and like I was never like an electronic music guy. My boyfriend kind of got it into me. We sort of like I'm a big metal guy, so he likes some of my metal. I like some of his. We don't like all the same. I think it's like the nice mix when you have like a little bit of common interest, but then have enough of your own things. I think it's like the night. You don't want. I feel like you don't want to like too much of the same shit.
True.
But I would go to them. I'd have fun. I mean, granted, I would do acid when I was at them, so like that. But we
you say it's so casual.
Fuck. I mean, I don't know. We that's the way that, start being able to talk about it now. I'm always like, fuck it. People can think I'm an asshole, whatever. I got my shit together. But we would go to the rave. Usually you leave like, I don't know, it's 4:00 in the morning. At least the sun's still down. We went to one. We made it to the end, and that was weird because when 9 a.m. rolls around at a rave and the lights turn back on everyone, and you were like, holy shit, all of you get back in the dark.
That's essentially what's happening, right? Yeah.
I was like, oh, I should have never seen you guys in the light. I'm sober now, and I see. Oh wow! And it was like everyone's like a weird like Eastern European vibe, and everyone's like a little askewed.
Oh, no.
And everyone's been like just fucked up all night. And everyone is coming to.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my God! It was wild.
Yeah. Well, first of all, you're seeing people who you thought were hot who are no longer hot.
Yeah.
Now you're exiting, and you're seeing people go to work while you realize that you're scum of the earth.
I'm like, oh, what? That was weird. I remember like. Seeing people go to work when you're leaving a rave, you're like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna die."
Yeah, what am I doing? With
but we've
life?
also we've gone to ones we'll find really niche ones that because that one was like a big venue that does this kind of stuff all the time.
Right.
I went to a rave in a bodega.
Damn, that's crazy. How many people were there?
Fucking 100.
But bodegas are so small.
Yeah, I know, it was packed.
That's
and it was like Christmas Eve.
Oh my gosh.
Like that, I remember we went to one at a Russian bathhouse.
Ooh.
Which was 1, sick, 2, hurt my self-esteem because everyone was in shape. I was the fattest person by a while.
They were probably into that because you look different.
Maybe. They were all in shape, so they were all into each other. But it was weird having we were in one of the hot tubs and there's a DJ playing. It was pretty sick.
That's so
But
crazy.
then also you're like, it's a lot of electrical equipment.
Ooh, close to water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get it a little easy. And then I remember the first time I saw someone go into a K-hole.
Oh no.
So it was a small
K-hole, that's a drug thing.
It was if you take too much ketamine,
okay.
You will just like shut down. You'll see shit. I did it 2 days ago.
I thought you were talking about someone named Kevin or something.
No.
Okay.
I mean, he might have been. Have I been in that K-hole? No, I don't know.
K's jelly roll.
Yeah.
Jelly
And it's a very small place, and we're in like this small little separate room, and it has like a curtain. And all of a sudden, this guy walks up to us, and then he leans against the door frame, and then just slides down and just sits there.
Oh no!
And his friends start freaking out. And they're like, "Oh my God, what's happened?" Like, they thought he was dying, and most of us were like, "It's okay, just give him a little time. He's just deep. He just took too much ketamine, and he's like deep because it's a horse tranquilizer."
Yeah.
Why we do this, I don't know. I do it. I shouldn't.
Yeah, sorry, was there more to that?
So they called 911.
Oh no.
For a rave. And I'm like, look, we all know what happens at raves. There's people are doing drugs. And fucking everyone's like, because they called it like immediately. Like, he's fine, he's breathing. Like, they called it immediately. Fire department comes in, and like, I'm coherent enough where I'm like, I lifted the guy up, helped carry him out. And then his friends just walked him down the street because they live 2 blocks away. So the fire department's still there.
Oh no!
And like, he's gone. They're like, where'd he go? Like, I don't know. Just go follow him. And then like a security guy or a cop like comes in and he points at me, and he's like, this way. I'm like, oh fuck. I go outside and like, where'd your friend go? I'm like, I don't know that guy. I just helped him get out.
Oh, because you helped him.
I just helped him get out.
Yeah,
like, and I was just like,
yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's funny when you're in that position because you want to do the right thing. You want to help someone who looks like they need some help.
Yeah.
But then you also don't want to deal with the cops and ambulance and firefighters afterwards, right?
100%. Because they didn't deal with them. I watched them walk him down the street.
Yeah.
So they didn't even deal with the people that they called.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember I was walking my dogs a couple of weeks ago, and there was this lady on the street. She was passed out on the street right here in Astoria, and lying flat. There's a piece of pizza in one hand and a Gatorade in the other. And I was like, all right, everybody's just walking right past her. Nobody's doing anything. I was like, let me call the cops.
Yeah.
And then the cops were like, all right, can you stay with her? I was like, I got shit to do.
No.
Yeah, I did the right thing. I called you. Like,
she's gonna be here.
Yeah. Yeah. They're like, can you get down and like hold her hand? I was like, I'm not fucking touching this lady. I don't know where the hell she's been.
What do I do? Your fucking job?
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, okay, well, can you at least wait with her for like 3 minutes while an ambulance comes? I was like, dude, I've done my deed. I don't got 3 minutes for this bitch. I don't know who the hell this is.
She just gets up and runs away.
Well, she got annoyed because my girlfriend went up to her. She's like, hey, ma'am, just so you know, we called the ambulance. So they're going to be here in a second. And then she gets up. She's like, the fuck you call the ambulance for? She's like, I'm going home. And then we're like, you're going nowhere. You're on the floor.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That is the most New York fucking thing on earth.
It's so crazy.
Fuck you call it. I can't afford that shit.
Yeah, she's like, no, I got to fill out paperwork. I ain't got an address. And I was like, oh, man. We try to help this lady.
You called the ambulance. Never mind. Let her fucking die.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not waiting around.
Yeah, let's do the city a favor. Just let it take her out. But
I gotta stop talking about my drug use thing. No, I don't know. Is that the whole point of why I started doing drugs? Is mainly so I was like, oh, I'm just a full-time comedian now. I don't do drugs, so I have more stories.
Well, do you find that it helps you unlock creative parts of your brain?
I honestly think it does. I don't do it a ton, but I say it's like I do like an acid trip. Mm-hmm. For the next like week or so, I have like a new I'm like dialed in a little bit more. I feel like a little bit more of like a spark. I find, but it's because like I don't. It might be because I space it out very far. I try to do things like I won't do things like a weekend like bang 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 bang. Yeah. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be months before I do something again. Okay. So I try to always do that, and it's a nice little jolt. Changes my perspective a little bit. I found acid really like it's really helps me with that. Like it gives me a little not just like writing, but like we'll just go out to like the woods somewhere, go for like a walk, do some acid, just chill. And like see what kind of comes to mind, and just like it's almost like a recalibration a little bit. Like I'll be completely because like afterwards I'll be sober and be like, all right, I did that. I got to wander a little bit in my own brain. Let me focus on what I need to do now, what I need to like push going forward.
Yeah, no, that's so cool. It'd be interesting to see like all your jokes, like which ones you wrote while on acid,
Yeah.
which ones you wrote not on
Not
acid,
acid.
and see which ones do better.
I feel like I have never like taken acid and like sat down and tried to write. I got to do that. One of these days I have to do that.
Yeah.
But usually I'm just doing like, usually it's like I'm doing shit. I'm like partying or I'm on a rave or something.
Right. But I'm sure it adds to the inspiration. Sorry, you were saying something, Eric?
I was just going to ask, have you done it right before going up on stage before?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Not acid, but at Skankfest, it was like day 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'd been on Kill Tony, so a lot of people saw me. There was this booth for this thing called this like golfing company called like, it's like a drunk golfer or something. I can't remember what they're called. They're very cool. I just know that they switched the D and the G. But we're talking to them a bunch, and the guy who runs it was like kept telling me like, oh, I just did a bunch of mushrooms from this chocolate. He's like, do you want some? I'm like, I gotta go up in like a half hour. And he was like, do you want some? I'm like, fuck it, what do I got to lose? Just took it. I shit you not. It kicked in like a minute before I got on stage.
No.
And my buddy Shane, comic out of Philly, who's hilarious. But like, he goes,
oh wait, Shane who?
Shane Cobber.
Okay.
He said the minute I got up there, I turned around and I said the projection looked like God's butthole because it had like this circle with just like images. And he goes, the minute you said that, I was like, oh. He's fucked.
He's fucked.
But he goes, but you saved it like very well. So, but like literally, I could 100% feel 1,000 thoughts going in my brain simultaneously, and it felt like I was trying to catch them.
Whoa! It's like ADHD in real time.
Yeah, and I was just like, where do I like? So, dude, I do not want to do that again.
How did the set go?
Fine. Luckily, it was like an 8-minute set. It was in like. The room that I was doing all my sets in was called the Hippo Room, and it was like a converted movie theater.
Sure.
So everyone was in like big comfy chairs, and you could tell it was the room that everyone went to like detox a little bit and just like compress. There were people asleep in there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's crazy. I did this one show in Philly called Weeding Out the Stoned. I don't know.
Everyone loves it when we shows.
But yeah, everybody's high except for one narc, and you kind of have to figure out who's the narc. And I got so fucking stoned, and I could not perform at all.
Yeah.
So it was ever since that show where I was like, I can't do substances before I perform.
Yeah, I know.
But I feel like a skank fest. It's not like there's industry in the audience.
No, yeah, that was like I wasn't like too worried. It was like through it all. It was kind of like partially through it already. I had done a bunch of sets already. People kind of knew me already.
And you already did Kill Tony at that
I already
point.
did Kill Tony, and that like elevated me a bit because like I'm obviously like I'm one of the people who applied. I got in, but I'm one of the lesser names. I'm going to be in one of the lower room shows, which hey, it's fine. I knew what it was, but I mean, they took care of everyone who performed there super well. But because I did the Kill Tony, so many people now were coming up to me at the festival, which was really, really fucking cool.
That's cool. Speaking of which, you got the golden ticket.
Yeah. I was invited back. Told whenever I'm back in Austin, I get to be on. So hopefully, I'll be back on this month. And
that'd be cool. I'll be watching.
Yeah, I'm excited to do it again because obviously it gets a ton of views, ton of. I didn't get like a huge amount of follows, but I definitely got a good amount. Like it definitely bumped me up a little bit, which was cool.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, and even just as like and a lot of people messaged me saying they saw it. I was getting messages from people that I hadn't talked to in fucking years. It was wild.
I mean, it's the biggest comedy show on.
Which is like
right
insane. It's crazy how big it is.
It's crazy. All these Kill Tony blow-ups happening. At first it was like one every year. Yeah. Now it's like one every month. People are just blowing up.
It's funny too. When I did a festival in Austin called the Altercation Comedy Festival. Mm-hmm. But when I was down there for a week, I still went down, checked everything out, and it's funny how many people, so many people came up to me. On the Monday of the Kill Tony taping, I went and signed up to try and get on. But like so many people came up to me and were like, "Oh my God, we saw you on Kill Tony." I was like, "Holy shit!" It's like if they're living in Austin, they are fucking fanboys to Kill Tony.
For sure.
Yeah. So many people were coming up to me and telling me they saw it. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. It's
but now I'm like, what if I was like, oh shit, I gotta make sure the second one is as good as the first.
Well, you have to. You got to kill that baby.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta make that golden ticket worth it.
I know.
But it's funny because we were talking about everybody using these credits to, just a desperation to hold on to something.
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of getting, I don't know if you're seeing this too, but now almost everybody's like, kill Tony, kill Tony, kill Tony. Even if they didn't get like too far into it.
Yeah.
Even if
there should be, I honestly think you should, if you're going to use it as a credit, there should be like, you have better done good for first all.
Yeah. You shouldn't have been shit on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember the first time I went to Austin, I went and watched it. It was before the mothership was open. I remember this chick, it had to be like one of the worst. She ate it so hard.
Oh no.
And then they were trying to be like nice. They were not being mean to her.
Right.
And they were like just trying to ask her questions. And they're like, one of the questions, he goes like, what do you like to do for fun? She goes, what is fun? And they were like, oh, fucking forget it. Like, we're done with this. Jesus Christ. They're like, I'm like, they're not even being mean to you. Like,
yeah.
I'll tell you what, that was I was super nervous because like you're in the back, you're in the curtain about to get called out to go. And even like literally until that curtain opened, I was still like trying to decide
what
minute to do. Cause I'm like, is this the best side? Is this going to work the best in a minute? Cause like, especially if you've been doing it a while, you get to points where like a minute, like to get like, damn, that's try and get them on your side. Like, yeah.
In one, yeah. And if I were to look up your episode, do you know which one it is?
The number I don't know, but it says Skankfest like right on it, and it's with Ari Shaffir and Jim Norton.
Oh, how were they mean to you? Or
No,
nice
not at all.
Yeah.
They were nice. They were nice. Yeah, they made a couple little hacky Asian jokes.
Of course, yeah.
Norton was super cool, and it's cool to look back on it and watch it and see like Norton genuinely laugh at the punchline. Like that makes me feel really good because Norton I've been a fan of well before I started doing comedy.
For sure, yeah. Tony, was he cool?
Tony was very nice to me. Like again, they were all super nice to me. They liked my stuff. So like,
it's just because I've seen episodes where Tony like really goes in on people.
Yeah,
and it almost seems like you got to catch him when he's in a good mood.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good mood, or they liked me that much. But he was like, "This is what he goes." He said during the interview, he was like, "This is one of my favorite interviews we've had in a long time." Because they just asked him to be a lot of gay sex fucking.
Right. Yeah.
Questions.
Yeah.
They asked me about being a truck driver and lot lizards and, from a top or bottom.
Lot lizard?
Yeah.
What's a lot lizard?
It's a prostitute in a truck stop.
Ooh. Yeah. Any experience?
No.
Okay.
Like I wasn't a long haul driver.
Right.
Which that's where they kind of congregate a lot. I wasn't a lot of rest stops. I saw them. But also like, I get laid enough. I don't need to fucking, I don't need to. Well, that was I didn't need a hooker.
Did you?
Plus, I never saw any gay ones. I never saw a gay lot lizard.
Oh, but
which is weird. I'm sure I seen a few lot lizards.
Okay. Well, that was my next question. You probably just don't participate in like those random hookups, right?
Yeah, no. I mean, no, not really. Yeah, like, that kind of shit. Oof, that is sketchy.
You're asking for a sore on your dick.
Yeah, that is oof.
Yeah, no, that's well, okay, cool. So we've talked about all that stuff, comedy. Maybe we'll get into some political topics. Where are we at right now?
You got about 6 minutes.
6 minutes.
Damn.
Okay. Well, just maybe one thing we can clip it out. Oh, okay. So did you hear about Target rolling back their DEI plan? What is it? The DEI?
Yeah, they're implementing all the DEI stuff that Trump is.
They're implementing or getting rid of it? They're getting rid of like the diversity inclusion thing.
They're getting rid of it by implementing it.
Right.
Yeah.
They've apparently gotten rid of it, and people are bouncing.
For Target, who the fuck is working at Target? That they're like, hire whoever the fuck you can. You're Target.
Yeah. But it's also like the stuff that they're promoting as well. Because for a long time they would promote black-owned business products or black-owned products or they would promote towards like the queer lifestyle or the
they won't even do that. They won't even like promote those things.
They're not pushing it anymore. They got rid of that whole program.
That's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
That's gay.
That's fucking gay.
like I'm all for promote fucking queer businesses, fucking black businesses. I'm all for that shit.
Yeah, but
because like they do fucking
well, because
I'm the dumbest person on earth though.
But I think the problem is because they would pride themselves on being inclusive.
Yeah.
And they would pride themselves on being like diversity.
Yeah.
But now that Trump's putting all these restrictions on, they're like scaling it back instead of fighting back.
Yeah, they're pussies.
They're pussies. Yeah, they're straight up pussies.
Yeah, fucking Target, you bitches.
Gay
that was like
bitches.
during Pride, all the rednecks were going in there and like tearing all the shit down, and like they were so mad that Target is gonna make kids gay.
Yeah, isn't that? And now that they're scaling back, I guess they can't win either way because like
I just God, I don't understand. Well, he also wants to get rid of like any talks of like critical race theory and all like anything in that realm. Like, you can't talk about like
he's getting rid of pride flags in government buildings, right?
Yeah, anything government like fucking. Oh my gosh, I don't know. It just means like, yeah, I've never been like, I don't have any rainbow flags or pride flags like that, but I'm not like.
Doesn't make you angry when you see one.
Yeah, like fucking put one up. It's nice to see because it's someone who might be having a hard time and they don't feel like they belong and be like, oh, okay, at least I'm not gonna get fucking murdered by someone because that shit's still fucking like that's what always bothers my mind. They're like, oh, why do we need it now? Like, why do you need to have that like, why do you need to make a big deal out of it? I'm like, because there's still fucking people who are killing people for being trans. Like there are still people who are doing shit and hurting people for just like their existence. So that little symbol lets people know like, okay, maybe for once I'm going to feel a little safe.
Yeah.
Like I always got to explain to people because people are like, oh, well, like, they're like, oh, what about you? Like, cause I get this thing of like, oh, you're like a normal gay. I'm like, first off, like, no, I'm just scary gay. I'll fight you.
Also, but
like not everyone's like me. Not everyone's in a position where they can be a fucking like, giant fucking lunatic.
Killer gay.
Yeah, but like so people want the like is I have and I see my friends go through it. Like I wrestle and I wrestle at a school that's very queer centric. Like most of it's queer, people of color, trans. Like I see the shit they have to fucking go through. It's fucking terrifying.
Right.
Like so like every little all these things like they do matter to people. That's like whenever like, the first pro athlete comes out as gay, like, oh, why is it going to be a big deal? Because he's the first one. Like this is a big deal because you guys made people feel like shit for being a certain way for so fucking long. So now they want to celebrate it. Want to know when we'll stop celebrating it? When people aren't fucking assholes about it anymore. That's when it'll stop being celebrated. When you guys aren't shitheads. Like,
yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
And like, and the thing is, it's not for the people who accept it. It's these flags mean something for the people who don't accept it. It's like, because then it's like saying like, hey, you're okay, we're cool. Like, let's just move on. You know? Yeah. Because the people who are cool with it are already cool with it. Right.
But it's nice to know that like that they're there. Like it's like hey, you're safe here.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree. And honestly, why is this like a top priority anyway? Like,
of all the fucking shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're not promoting black-owned businesses because white businesses matter too. They're doing fine.
Yeah.
Well,
they've been doing fine. Like, you're gonna promote a black-owned. How does that hurt you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What are you worried that like it's gonna run you out of fucking business? Like, be better with your shit. I don't like.
There's been DEI for white people for the past 150 years.
Yeah.
That's fucking all it's been. You fucking white assholes.
They weren't hiring white people because they were much better at the job.
They were hiring them because they needed to fill a certain percentage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I hope it's like, but someone made a good point. They're like, all right, well, we can do the opposite now. We can fire people for being white Christians.
Yeah.
Like, fucking do
I
it.
hope so. Because they're the worst.
They want to pretend they're being prosecuted, so we might as fucking well. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think the DEI thing is stupid. Okay, fine. Well, okay, we talked about the DEI thing. You got a little heated there.
You got one more. You got one more.
Selena Gomez. Do you see that video of her crying about the ICE deportations?
No, I avoided that one. I don't like watching videos of celebrities crying on the internet.
But I think it's crazy.
Again, I do like I'm fucking like. It's another thing, like the ICE deportation. Like you just want to be racist. I don't see you sending any illegal Russian or Irish immigrants home, and there's plenty of them.
That is a good point.
But like, the whole like, it's so funny. They made a big deal about the Aurora thing,
right? Yeah.
About like there was this like couple who was like kidnapped and all that stuff. No one brought up the fact that the couple who was kidnapped was also illegal.
Whoa.
No one brought that up.
I had
That the
no
reason they were
idea.
targeted is because the gangs knew they were illegal and knew they were like, oh, no one's gonna help them because they're illegal as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that was like a bit. No one like brought up that point as well. Like,
Well, they always bring up like, oh, illegals are raping and hurting people that are here, but it's
fucking
not when you,
people who are here are doing
yeah,
that.
when you look at the numbers in comparison, like, yeah, there are groups of people.
Yeah,
that
but
do
also,
that.
oh, we're gonna get rid of the kids in the elementary schools. Like that, you're being an asshole. Like that's not. Like, you can't. Like,
Yeah.
those kids needed a gun.
Yeah. Fucking is Elon legal here? Fucking
No, but he's a big fan of the Jews. I'll tell you
oh,
that.
huge fan. Like you know what's so funny? And I was like, all right, how do I talk about this without like, oh, I shout out? Like, I was like, he is such a spastic dork that I was honestly so distracted by how retarded his movement was
Right. It
that
was
I overlooked the salute.
Yeah, it was.
I was like, he moves like, you ever seen videos of like gamers will play like Portal, or like one person will be blindfolded and using the controller while the other person
Can see what
they're doing and gives them directions. That's how he moves.
He does move like he
Like,
doesn't know what the hell's going
What
on.
like how do you
That was a pretty tardy salute.
most tardy salute.
Yeah.
Like
if he did that salute to Hitler, he probably would have gassed him. for
Yeah,
being retarded.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Like someone had a good point, dude. Like I was like, oh, is he doing it to see like what he can get away with? Does he do it? I don't care. He's fucking retarded. I'm so tired of like looking at him. And he also is like the most unfunny person.
Yeah.
Anyone who's like calls himself like a meme lord.
How is he a meme lord? I mean,
He just like
not
like,
by choice. That's
no.
for sure.
I'm just like you're just like oh my god.
He is the epitome of somebody who's like a keyboard like he's fun. He thinks he's funny online, but you meet him in person and it's just not.
He's
the
also
same
not
vibe.
funny. I don't think he's funny. Like period.
Yeah.
I like
you
it, but
can
he's
tell
so.
that
He's a tryhard.
Yeah.
You
He's
can
like
tell that
such
he
a tryhard.
Thinks he's funny. Like, did you see him on SNL when
Yeah.
he did that? He's horrible.
Oh my god, you
But
suck so much.
You can see that he
Yeah.
thinks he's
Oh, look at me. I'm
great.
killing it. He is like, he would fit right in at like a couple open mics.
Yeah, and he'd be the type of person that goes up. I just leave.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He'd move to Austin immediately. He'd get run out of his like local scene and just like go to Austin. It's like, guys, he isn't funny. I just said fag a bunch.
And now
There was no
killing
joke, dude.
it. Tony loves him. He's killing it.
Tony would definitely give him a golden ticket.
That's always my favorite is like comics who like I've come across so many because they're like come to me for validation about it because like I'm not because like as liberal as I can be, I don't consider myself really woke, and I'm like, you know, fine free speech, and I am like a lunatic for guns. I have such a boner for guns, but I'm also not like I also get people who don't like guns. Like I'm not like people like I don't think we should have guns. I'm like. I agree. I understand why.
Yeah.
We're doing a lot of fucked up shit with them. I enjoy them, but that's about where it ends. I just like them.
You shouldn't have one. Well, I'll get one.
Yeah. I don't even know if I should have one. But it's like they're just like, look at this guy. He's a fag. I'm like, Pete, isn't it funny? Because I said the thing. I'm like, you didn't say a joke.
Yeah.
You just said that. That's it. Why is that funny?
Yeah, it's true. And you know, I don't want to get into like a whole thing because I know we're wrapping up, but
Yeah.
this I was talking about this with Eric the other day. Like, you know, if you're gonna use like the word like retard, fag, cunt, you know, like all these trigger words, right? You gotta make sure there's a joke behind it. Because if you say it just to say it, you look like a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Yeah, like people who are just like edgelords who just say it for the sake of shock drives me fucking insane.
It completely negates everything that you're doing, and you just look like a fucking asshole. With that being said, we're just a bunch of fags here doing this pod. And,
Just because you just turned into Mark Norman.
But yeah, no, I think that was we had a great episode. Eric, you got any closing remarks or statements?
I think I'm good.
Okay, all right. Well, we got Peter Angelo here, dude. Thank you so much for coming out.
Thanks for having me, man. Thank you.
Really quick, Peter, do you have any shows or anything like that?
Plugs? You got any plugs?
Follow me at Metal Pete Comedy. I mean, I'm going to be in Austin the entirety of February. When I get back in March, though, I'll be featuring for Jason Ellis at Laugh It Up in Poughkeepsie.
Nice.
Then me and Luke Severod have a show March 29th at the Grizzly Pear Midtown that we'd really love to sell out. Those are like the big ones I got going on. So yeah, if you follow me, I'll have posts for those.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah. I got, what do I got? I'm doing the Laughing Lussie show at Broadway Comedy Club. That's going to be at the end of February. This is a fun one. It's an old Indian show. It's an old brown show.
Okay.
That's the only kind of shows I get booked on nowadays. but but that's going to be fun. And then I have my monthly Holy Hand Grenade at Sunset Park in Industry City, Brooklyn. That's the third Saturday of every month. And other than that, you can catch me on the road. I do work with Mark Norman. That's probably why. That's probably why I sound like this. And yeah, and I'm all around the place, and we'll go from there. Yeah, Eric, you got anything coming up?
Maybe suicide.
Cool. All right. So
Maybe fucking commit.
So the next episode, it might just be me and one guest. And but
Producers, start filling out that fucking application.
Yeah, actually, producers, apply to this one because we're gonna need one next week. But thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. And dude, Peter, it was such a fun time having you on the pod. And yeah, all right, closing up, baby. Later.
Later.